Hey guys, I just set up the GoPro and I have my agenda here. Um, just put the girls down for bed. It is 8:30. I'm trying to use my mom nighttime voice. It's a GoPro though, so I'm sure you guys can hear me just fine. I'll come closer if I need to. They have sound machines. They can't even hear me. It's like paranoid. Don't wake the babies. Um, Anyway, hi, welcome, meeting number one. So I wanted to just have this one recorded out there so you guys can refer back to it if you want, or, just so we have it even before we officially get going next week. So a lot of information, and a couple of you had some really good questions that I will answer. But okay, we're just going to get started. So good job for joining the program. I think you're going to love it. My current group will be done on the 23rd. They have had really good success, like incredible, especially during the holidays. So I will have them on the Facebook group kind of give their little testimonials and support to you guys to kind of encourage you and share some tips and tricks that they've learned in the last 3 months to help inspire and motivate you. But what is this program? So I call it the 12 Weeks to Effortless because I feel like most women, right, we yo-yo diet or we stress over what to eat, when we should eat. Our relationship with food is kind of toxic. So I really wanted to come up with a program that would help kind of free us of all that. So I've made it pretty user friendly, pretty simple. The last thing I want is you guys to stress over what to eat, when to eat, and why are we eating it. So it's food. It's not supposed to be confusing, but it is. So my job was to make it not so confusing. So what do we eat? Well, so Randy and I have always, since 2011 or 12, we went paleo and have been paleo since then, but we've evolved into more keto, and we do dairy, but I know a lot of you don't, and that is fine. That is, don't do dairy. Most of us can't really tolerate it, or we don't know if we can tolerate it unless we remove it out of our diet and then reintroduce it. And you'll know right away if you can't tolerate dairy. Bloating, gas, bubble guts, breaking out, eczema, just feeling inflamed, that systemic inflammation. Dairy can cause that, but not always. A lot of the times we think it's a dairy issue, but actually it's maybe a carbohydrate issue or a sugar issue. So something to think about, maybe remove dairy for the next 3 weeks and then try introducing it back into your diet and see how you feel. Okay, so tangent. What do we eat? We eat whole foods. We eat foods that nourish our bodies. So a lot of meat and protein, a lot of fat, fruits minimally. The fruits that we recommend are apples, berries, foods that are kind of low on the sugar scale, and vegetables. But you don't have to. We even like Randy's carnivore half the time. So he's like meat guy and I'm more keto. So, I mean, fruits and veggies, we can actually live without them, which sounds so crazy, right? But what we can't live without is fat and protein. So, your plate should look like a heck of a lot of protein and some fat and maybe some vegetables. vegetables, maybe a little bit of fruit, and dairy. If you do dairy, like that could be your fat, right? Okay, so I hope that explains how we eat. And all of you are meat eaters. Then I will throw in like special workouts every now and then. It's very fun. Okay, so we will do our body weight group workout Tuesdays at 7:30 California time, 8:30 Montana time. So I'll put the girls down and we'll get it started at 8:30, about 20 minutes. And I will record it too, so if you can't make it, that's fine. And then on Thursdays, we will do our meeting. And any questions you guys have or comments, email them to me so I know ahead of time so I can get oh, sorry, I don't know what happened. Dang it. I'm back. Anyway, so I was going on a tangent about peanuts and chocolate, and that was my late night snack. But anyway, I started eating a bigger dinner and having a cup of tea at night, and I feel so much better. I wake up in the morning with energy. I don't feel puffy and inflamed. So that's exciting. You definitely will feel better not doing the whole late night eating. Okay, so you need to go into this with a plan. I am a fan of planning. I am a meal planner. So I really recommend once a week, whatever day of the week works best for you, meal plan your dinners. If that means meal planning your lunches and your breakfast, do that too. But go in with a plan and know like what you have in your freezer, right? So you have enough chicken breast for the week, beef, pork, roast, whatever, shrimp, and then create your meals around that. Or, you know, I always meal plan and then head to the grocery store, Costco, and whatever. You also need to have a plan for if you don't have a plan. So it's been a crappy day and your kids are hungry and you do not feel like cooking. What do you do? Where do you go? So you need to have like your disaster plan. That's what Randy calls it. Our disaster plan is Five Guys, bunless burgers, and we get the girls fries, and sometimes I eat some if it's been a bad day. But sometimes not, and I just get like a I don't know, like a double, whatever they're called, and with everything on it, and it is delicious. And yeah, so Five Guys, bunless, is good. What else do you guys have there? In California, we don't have Five Guys. Or no, In-N-Out. We don't have In-N-Out. So jealous. Chipotle. Chipotle's a good one. So have your disaster plan. Know, okay, it's yeah, we're not having pot roast tonight. it's a keto pizza casserole night, and that works, or whatever. Okay, so disaster plan, meals on the go, meals at work. So if you're a meal prepper, prep, do it. I am not a fan. I gave that up when I gave up eating 6 meals a day and carrying around a cooler. I just make extra dinner, and then that's lunch, and I'll pack that if we're out and about, or send it with Randy, right, for his day job. So I don't if yeah, a lot of you are working and you're out of the house, so think about what your lunches are going to look like. Are they going to be like bento boxes, or is it going to be leftovers? Have the plan and then stick to it as much as you can, right? But be like water, right? You kind of ebb and flow. All right, disaster plan, social events. So Randy always wants me to hone in with you guys about social events. He thinks it's the best idea that if you're out and about at a party or whatever, and people are wondering why you're not drinking or why you're not having a croissant, that you just say you're having some health issues and you're trying to figure out what's going on, if you have like a food allergy, and so you're just not eating that food right now. And people don't question it, right? Because nobody wants to question your health. So he always tells me, like, make sure you do the health disclaimer. I mean, you guys can say whatever you want. You can tell them you're doing this program and maybe they'll sign up too, change their lives. But yeah, I've always told people that, like, oh yeah, gluten just, it doesn't do pretty things. So we're not going to go there. And that always works. But sometimes people get really weird. And I'm sure you guys have experienced that, right? Like, especially like my kids don't eat, the girls don't eat gluten. And if we're at a party, it's a different story. But say we're at like the gym childcare and they're trying to give out like goldfish. And I'm like, oh, well, no, because it upsets their tummies. They get a little weird. Okay, so thank you. Actually don't work with vegans and vegetarians. Yeah, I decided that a few months ago. I was like, we're just not going to go down that road. It's not worth it. Okay, so meals. We recommend eating 2 to 3 meals a day with no snacking in between. Your meals should be big. They should be filling. No skinny chick meals, like no little cute little chicken salads. Big, like, I don't know, eat as much as your husband, out eat him. I do. As long as what you're putting into your body is legit. You do not need to worry about calories. You don't need to be worrying about, is this going to make me fat? No. So big, hearty meals. No snacks unless you absolutely need to. But if you need a snack, it makes me question how big was your meal, because you should be full. Eat until you're full. If you don't eat breakfast, that's fine. Wake up in the morning and eat when you're hungry, period. So you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you have your water, right? We should all have water when we wake up, and coffee or tea. And at 10 o'clock in the morning, your stomach starts to growl. What do? Oh my gosh, you eat. You honor your hunger. If you're not hungry until noon, eat at noon. If you're hungry, you wake up at 6 in the morning and you're hungry at 6:30, eat. So it could be 1 meal a day, it could be 2, it could be 3. But typically when we're starting, we recommend 2 to 3 square meals. And then as you become fat adapted, where your body is using fat as energy and fuel instead of carbohydrates and sugar, then you'll start to notice maybe you're not so hungry in the morning, and maybe you're hungry at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or maybe you're not hungry until dinner, and that is fine. It is counterintuitive from what we have learned, right, with the whole clean eating movement back in the early 2000s, but it's actually the way our bodies were designed. We're not designed to eat all day and digest food. It's actually not good for your metabolism, and it ages you. And I know we all want to be the whole anti-aging, right? I do. So no snacking, 2 to 3 meals a day, square meals. What else? You'll get your shopping list tomorrow in the app. And if it's not there, let me know, because I was tech support tonight for Jenny and Shelly. I figured it out. Got it to work. Okay, so we talked about 2 to 3 meals, no snacking, right? We're not grazers. Really try to cut off your eating about 2 to 3 hours before bed. 2 hours is pretty good. It helps with sleep and digestion, and it is just really good for you. I'm tired. It's good for you. It's good for you to stop eating 2 hours before bed. So do it. No late night grazing. Guys, that was my, oh my gosh, that was my thing. I would put the girls down and I'd have peanuts and chocolate, and it was delicious. Right, Jenny? I told you that the semi-sweet chocolate chips, oh man, from Costco, the big old bag. Randy and I would down a bag in like probably 3 weeks. No, that's not good. So anyway, we've stopped that. Moving on, I want you guys to, and what I really love about this group, side note, is that you're all very type A, and you're all very like in it to win it. And I love that determination and motivation. I want you guys, and I don't know if you have this mindset around food. I know that I always have, and I still struggle with it, but a win or a fail. If I eat really, really good for a day, it is a win. And if I slipped and ate a donut or whatever, it's a fail. I want you guys to start viewing it as it was just a choice, and we made that choice, and now we move forward. We don't attach that emotion to food. And I think a lot of the times women, we do that, and it just sets us up for this like horrible emotional spiral, right? And it doesn't serve us. So if we remove the emotion, there's no attachment, it was a choice we made, it maybe wasn't the best choice, well, I'm going to make a better choice later, and we just move forward. So I'd really like to encourage you guys to start reframing your relationship with food and the emotion that we attach to it. Yeah, that's my little spiel on that. Let's see. Yep. Okay. So the main focus is number one, sleep. Sleep above all is the most important thing you can do for your health. I know it's annoying because we're all busy. But if you're not sleeping 7 to 8 hours, it doesn't matter what you eat. It doesn't matter how hard you exercise. You will not be at your optimal health. So if you're not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, start baby steps. Once a week or every night that week, go to bed 15 minutes early, and then the following week 10 minutes earlier than that, and start easing your way into it. Have a decompression before bed where you are not watching TV, you're not on your phone, you're reading a book, you're having a cup of tea, you're relaxing. It's really important, you guys, for everything. Okay, so sleep is number one. Number two is nutrition. What do you put into your body? So sleep and nutrition matter more than exercise. And I think you guys already know that. I just lost my spot. Yeah, so sleep and nutrition, two most important things. The third one is daily movement. It's not even exercise, it's daily movement. Are you a couch potato? Are you a desk jockey and you're not really getting your steps in? We should all be trying to get 10,000 steps in a day, right? So daily movement. If you are glued to a desk every hour for 3 to 5 minutes, get up, do some jumping jacks, do some squats, walk around the office, go walk around outside, go take some deep breaths, and then get right back into it. Like set your alarm every hour. Daily movement matters more than structured exercise. So it's sleep, nutrition, daily movement, stress, how we handle our stress, how we cope with stress, that matters so much. And then it's structured workouts. That's the last component. So we can live without exercise. But for most of us, part of our stress coping skills, right, is to have exercise. Like for me, I can't live without exercise, or I'd be like in a straitjacket in a corner. And I work out maybe 3 to 5 times a week, maybe 20 minutes a day ish at home in my living room. And just even that, like I'm not a gym rat, right? Like I used to be. Time for that. And a long workout for me is 30 minutes. But even just a little like 10 to 20 minute little snack workout is enough to just completely clear my head. So I get that. We talked about couch potato. The body acclimates to what it does most. So if you're mostly sedentary, then you're mostly a couch potato. And if you are mostly up and moving, then you are an active person. So think about that. Sleep, talked about that. Oh, this is a Randyism. He wants you to remember to keep your world small. He says that women, we have a tendency to think about every little thing that we have going on. And his description was, if you have a 20-pound weight loss goal, most of the time women are focusing on that 20 pounds. Well, don't. Focus on the today. Focus on the water you should be drinking, the 2 to 3 meals you should be eating, your daily movement. Keep it small. And before you know it, you're going to reach your 20-pound fat loss goal, right? Side note, water. If you ever wonder how much water you should be drinking, you take your current body weight and you divide that in half, and that is your water intake, what it should be for the day for survival. So I bet you some of you, Shelly, are not drinking enough water. Drink your water. Okay. We talked about keeping your world small, water, breakfast. We touched on that in the beginning. Do you eat breakfast or do you not? Because intermittent fasting is such a buzz, right? And I am all about it. I'm like, duh, I just told you guys, if you're not hungry till dinner, don't eat till dinner. I love intermittent fasting. And the secret with intermittent fasting is it just cuts your calories. That's the secret. That's why it works. It does other things. It helps with inflammation, anti-aging. Just I can go on, but really, like for fat loss, it just cuts your calories. So, on that note, we honor our hunger in this program. Period. Dot. You will never hear me say, "Oh, but you're not supposed to eat until 2 o'clock because that's when your fast is done." Yeah, no. If it's 11 o'clock and your stomach is growling, dang it, you need to eat. And if you wake up hungry, you need to eat. So that's my spiel on breakfast. So we honor our hunger and we eat when hunger naturally ensues. You will start your day, your first meal of the day, whether it is breakfast or it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, with a fat and a protein. Always. No carbs. None. You don't need it. So, first meal of the day, breakfast, should look like a bacon slice or 2 or 3 if you're hungry for that, and an egg or 2, or sausage patty, and we do a lot of eggs. We do keto pancakes. I will get you the recipe. They're so good. Yeah, so stay away from carbohydrates in the morning. Earn your carbs. If you have worked out and you have moved your body and you want a sweet potato or some golden roasted potatoes at dinner, absolutely, but not in the morning. Okay, so, and if you want to know why, I will tell you why, but not right now because I feel like I'm rambling. Dairy. I talked a little bit about dairy, that a lot of us can tolerate it. I didn't think that I could tolerate dairy, and so I stayed away from it for a long time. Actually, when I cut my carbohydrates out, I can tolerate dairy. So I'm like keto with dairy, and it is so fabulous. But if for some reason dairy is not your friend, stay away from it. And if you're not sure, then we'll cut it out for 3 weeks and then reintroduce it and see how you do. Gluten. Nobody needs it ever. No, not even our kids. So if you're kind of wondering, like, okay, am I going to eat like this? Are my kids not? Am I going to keep, the granola bars and their little snacky foods in the pantry? Do you? I would never tell you how to raise your family or live your life. But I am a fan of doing things as a family. I just feel like it sets a really solid tone and foundation in the house. My kiddos, obviously, they eat more carbohydrates than I do. They're growing. But yeah, we don't have gluten in the house. So, and I just tell them, when they ask me, why can't they eat goldfish? It just has some ingredients in it that mama doesn't like. And so we move on. So then I give them, their peanuts and their, Randy's home, peanuts and chocolate, dark chocolate chips, craisins. They love that stuff. So anyway, that's what, and they snack on popcorn. So that's my spiel on family. And we'll talk more about getting the kids on board, getting husband on board, if that's what you want to do. You don't have to. Again, I would never tell you what to do. But a lot of the times it's just easier to make one meal, right? And sometimes the kids' snacky food calls to us, and I don't want that food in my house because sometimes I would cave. So that's that. Sugar. There's just really no reason, right, to have it. So it creates a pro-inflammatory response in the body. So I do monk fruit and erythritol, which is the keto alternative. And if you don't like that, you can do your honey and your maple syrup. Coconut sugar is really awesome. So that would be more like paleo, which is great. Love paleo. You want to avoid canola oil, vegetable oil, basically any modern seed oil. It's really gross and it's rancid, and it, again, creates a pro-inflammatory response in the body. Come on up, Randy. So we're going to talk about a pantry purge. I will send out an email. You guys will also have the pantry purge notes in the app. But basically, one day this week, pick whatever day works best for you, and just gut your fridge and your pantry. Any food that does not support your health, kick it to the curb. Donate it. I'm not opposed to that. Throw it away. Whatever. So let's see. I want us to go the next 21 days. So from starting on January 10th until January 30th, is that 20 days? Maybe the 31st? We are going to go super strict to give our bodies a chance to reset and, hi babe, give our bodies a chance to reset. I just said that. And kind of detox, right? It is perfectly normal to feel kind of sick the first couple of days of your detox. Maybe feel like you have the carb flu, and a headache is normal, diarrhea. So be aware of that. Drink a lot of water, rest, get extra sleep if you need it. Don't exercise if you're feeling like you just aren't in the mood. Don't do it. Okay, so starting on the 10th, and I do this with you guys. So I do the entire program with you. So from the 10th until 21 days from that. Is that the 30th or the 31st? I'll figure it out. We are going super strict. We're doing this for our bodies. We give our bodies a chance to get rid of the sugar cravings, and the sugar cravings are no joke. She's fine. Oh, she's okay. And after the 21 days, Randy, she's fine. After the 21 days, we will talk about a sensible indulgence. So that could look like some dark chocolate, or like a keto dessert or a paleo dessert, maybe a glass of wine. But I want you guys to really start getting in the mindset of earning your treats. It's not a cheat. We earn our treats. We earn it by getting the right kind of sleep, getting our workouts in, eating right, and then after the 21 days, we'll start to play around with like once every week to maybe twice a week. But if you have a vanity weight loss goal, it's probably going to be more like once a week to once every 10 days. So keep that in mind too. Okay. I am rambling. We talked about sensible indulgences, earning your treats. You guys are probably already starting to play around on the app, and you're starting to see like you'll have like assigned workouts.